Thank you, my sister. Thank you so much. Please continue to help us to hit the like button so that our people will get this information. Like we mentioned earlier, we are discussing economic prostitutes and they are everywhere. But the good thing is that we have a solution on the table. We've reminded you guys over and over again that your present is actually at the on your doorstep, that all you need to do is to open the door and unwrap your gift. Your job is not to ask why is the gift wrapped in a yellow wrap, why is it green, why is it red. You didn't ask for it. While you were dancing kokoma with the name of your tormentors, God sent someone to work for you and do things for you so that you don't have to suffer. And all you have to do, because you guys claim you believe in God, get the gift and say, thank you, God, and listen to the instructions that are coming ahead. So for the same reasons, apartheid era South Africa could not be described as a democracy under the rule of law. Today's Caliphate Nigeria is neither a democracy nor governed by the rule of law. Remediation for Nigeria starts with taking down the rogue 1999 constitution so that referendums will take place to define the future. So you see, it's not complicated. You guys be reading your Bible. A lot of you can quote all kinds of things from that Bible. The other day I tried to cram one before I drove to the grocery store. I forgot the I forgot the verse. So a lot of you are well versed in doing all of these things. But the one thing that can give you freedom and give you freedom abundantly, it does not make sense. So neither the 1979 Constitution nor the 1999 Constitution was made or enacted by we the people. So somebody did a forgery. Somebody went and copied something they probably saw online. And we've told you guys time with that number that what do you do with a forgery? You get rid of it. It's only in a criminal enterprise would anyone go to try to amend a forgery. So unless if you guys are that criminals that you're called, it's not even possible because you draw the power to run that nation from the people. And right now you don't have their mandate. They have not told you to do anything. You've lied against them and holding that lie over them. So what are the things that we can do to facilitate the implementation of NINA's strategy? It's no brainer. Like I mentioned earlier, we have given you a present. Your job is not to tell us, let's go and adjust it. Have you even read the document? Do you understand what the strategy is needed to complete this project? There's no adjustments needed. What you need to do is to readjust your brain, reformat your brain, configure your brain so that you can understand what needs to be done. So what needs to change is the prevailing local environment, people's communities and neighborhood. That's what we are referring to when we say local environment. That change will be facilitated by committed stakeholders in each of the alliance blocks working with NINA's strategy framework. Those committed stakeholders will be best suited to drive the message of NINA's strategy amongst their own grassroots, as already been witnessed in some of the blogs. We do want to thank the brothers and sisters sending us videos. You know, those that goes in, bring the message and put it on a blast for everyone to listen to. We acknowledge your work. Thank you. Also, NINA's will find viable ways to facilitate the task of these committed stakeholders. The NINA's altar call envisaged for the first quarter of 2024 will be preceded by intensive engagements with these committed stakeholders. And we want to thank our brothers and sisters that are coming forth. They're coming forth very, very interested in getting this work done. We thank you. We keep reminding you guys that you are a stakeholder. This is not something that Sister Ekwi has one part of it in her breast and the other one has it in her toilet. No, you are part of what we're doing. All we ask you to do is to understand the strategy. And last, NINAS will focus, of course, NINAS will of course lead the engagement with those stakeholders so that together we can move more swiftly to the viable solution that NINA strategy offers the people of Nigeria, especially across the alliance territories, including the Middle Belt. So, like we mentioned earlier, we'll be getting messages. There will be intense engagements, and this will be among those that are committed to what we're trying to do. For the first time, a Black man will liberate themselves without a gunshot. For the first time, a Black man will bring to the table a viable solution that will not cause any bloodshed, but rather will facilitate how we're going to transition into the next phase. Another thing that we need to do is a formal statement that we shall be issuing in the next few days. Is going to be in this month of February, month of January of 2024, regarding preparations towards the NINA's altar call. We shall separate those who, along with NINA's, reject the fraudulent 1999 Constitution as the basis of union from those who cling to the 1999 Constitution. Basically, we are going to ask you if you want to work with NINA's to the right, you want to work with the criminal One Nigeria to the left. So it's a no-brainer. And we can already see that One Nigeria is not for you. We will remind you once again that it's an enterprise set up by Queen Elizabeth and her cohorts to take your resources. That's why they will steal your resources, and their reward will be in London. They will be giving the best houses in London. They can hide their money in the Bahamas. What is that thing that we ran the other day? The place where they can hide their money and nobody will come for them. With the successful completion of the delegitimization phase of the 1999 Constitution and the activation of the decommissioning phase, that separation exercise will bring implementation to the phase that sets the stage for the dismantling and reconfiguration of the unitary union and structures imposed by that constitution. This is like a mouthful. Let me read this again so it doesn't sound complicated. So with the successful completion of the delegitimization phase of that 1999 Constitution, so once we successfully delegitimize the 1999 Constitution and then the activation of the decommissioning phase, that separation exercise will bring the implementation to the phase that sets the stage for dismantling. So we are going for delegitimization, we are going to decommissioning, and then we are going to dismantling. And then that will lead us to reconfiguration of the union, unitary union and the structures imposed by that 1999 Constitution. So basically, we will try to break this down as we go. Just be willing to be present, be willing to be part of the process. This is a time that if you want to zalonwa, because you know a lot of us now like Izoma in our village, you want to be the light. This light now is to bring some type of listening device that our people will use instead of going to church and believing that God will send money to your phone and believing that your enemies will die, because Gowon is still there. The criminal Gowon is still there. He has not died. He's basically taking money from his oil well and enjoying life. So don't listen to your pastor telling you that your enemies will die. These are the things that we need to do to actually get rid of our enemies. It's a no-brainer. So please listen up. It will be coming soon. And then the NINA's proposition is to be summarized as usual, which is similar to some of the things that I read before. So the first one here is an acknowledgement of the constitutional grievances raised in union dispute, commitment to decommission the imposed fraudulent 1999 Constitution. So you can remember I said delegitimization and then decommissioning. So similar to the things that we've already talked about. And then we've mentioned the no election, which you guys have tried. And the Fulanese, they have used it to recapture you and keep you in a dungeon. But that's notwithstanding, there is still a way out. And then the fourth one is our constituent peoples of Nigeria to work out the modalities for transitioning, and then announcement of a two-stage transitioning process, which in the first one, there will be multi-regional referendums for the constituent components to decide, hey, I want to do this, hey, I don't want to be here. And then the secondly, whatever that is out of that first one as what we'll see after referendums. So we want our people to understand this proposition. This is actually a simple format from what we've been using before. So these are the things that we're insisting on. And we do want to thank our brothers and sisters that are following up on this. You know, we're getting a lot of feedbacks. We're getting a lot of our people wanting to know more. This is the only thing that we need to do to move forward so that nobody will bamboozle us. Nobody will muscle over us. No church, no colonial partners, whoever that they are, will continue to subjugate us and keep us in an open air prison called Nigeria, because that's exactly what it is. But because nobody's saying anything, people are here protesting for the other group. You guys live in an open air prison. That's why when you get ready to fly to Dubai, they can decide to turn around and send the plane back. That's why when you're from Nigeria, when you get to the airport, a custom officer can look at your ticket and send you back and say, oh, you shouldn't be here. Anything can happen to you, anything. And there's no one accountable because you don't have a government. What you have is puppet leaders that will steal your resources, and London will welcome them to come and buy resources and hide the rest of the money in Cayman Island for a job well done. And it will never end. If you can see, the evidences are bound. It's not just me saying. For years, we have watched our politicians steal our resources, destroy our land, because they see our land as a gang place, a place where you can do anything and get away with it. So once they are done, they get rewarded in UK or in London. You steal all the money, you bring it here, and you can buy the tallest building and buy your home building and buy your apartment so that you can be getting residual incomes. And the US will not arrest them. Instead, they will be coming back and forth now as on Christmas Day. It has been ongoing. The evidence is there. And the only way we will stop all of these things is to put something in place that will hold people accountable so that we are not electing criminals into leadership. And that will help us to stop the economical prostitutes parading as leaders. So until next week, thank you so much. Happy New Year. Please help us to share this information and let it go across. We are excited about this year and we know God is on our side. All we want is for it to be good for a woman, for a child, for an adult. Everyone should benefit. There's no reason for the suffering to be ongoing. So yes. Until next week, remain safe and treat each other with kindness. Yes. Bye-bye.